taking longer than I thought.
Maybe the restrictions in Mournhold will ease now that the temple is safe again.
These Nyx hounds may be part machine, but they're all animal at heart. I care for them the best I can and love them while they're living, but even I have to put food on the table. If I do, it's mostly a coincidence. They're hand-raised, mostly just for my own needs, but I'll sell off some surplus now and again. Takes a lot of effort, so I don't part with it cheap. I can fetch some from my larder, if it's worth it to you. You'll never find meat more mercifully raised, I'll promise you that. Might put this toward new bedding for Twitchy and Hopper. Take care now.
Creature. It's even worse than Palbatin told us. Look, I appreciate all the help, but I don't want to see you die on my behalf. Are you sure you can deal with that beast? I'm no warrior, you know that. Without you, we wouldn't have gotten this far. I'll stay out of the way, so don't worry about me. Just be safe out there and try not to die. What? Throw rocks? I won't even be able to dent that monstrosity. Listen, if you really need my help down there, use the whistle and I'll see what I can do. It won't be much, but I might be able to cause a distraction so you can catch your breath. You did it! Thanks to you, we found the lost treasure. This proves the prognosticator isn't an oracle. It's just a machine. And not a very good one at that. Now I can show the people of Slagtown that we're not prisoners to destiny. Yes, my friend, spices. Wonderful, delicious spices. That's the most valuable treasure of all, when your diet consists of nothing but flavorless paste. This will not only improve our lives, it will show my people that our fate is not set in stone. More than that, spices are as rare as a blade of grass in a city of metal. Wealthy mages and apostles will pay dearly for such a tempting treat. But I need to be cautious. Others will try to steal this treasure. I need to hide it to keep it safe. Return to Slagtown and meet me there. Then we can show my people how we changed the outcome of the prognosticator's prediction and improved my destiny. I just wish my mother had lived to see this day.
Greetings. Please restrict...
The God knows how to deal with the likes of you. Greetings, Resident.
I convinced Sotha Seal that the Congress requires yet another lecture on the sanctity of clockwork automata. He eagerly agreed. Seemed almost giddy about it. It was unsettling. Is all in readiness? Good. Seal's lecture should begin any moment now. Stand ready to activate the lamp. I'm reasonably certain that something will happen, but the specifics elude me. I guess this is what uncertainty feels like. What a novel.
In the past, I have encouraged a child's curiosity and accepted minor blasphemies. But my generosity has limits. Know this. Any servant of the Clockwork God found tinkering with factotums shall face severe sanction. In this place, my word shapes, constructs, and controls. My authority is absolute. Keep to your modest experiments. Seek discovery outside the walls or in the confines of your own cloisters. Such is the will of Set, the mainspring everwound. Obey. Now, are there any questions?
What is that? What's happening?
After him! Someone seize that imposter!
I am the Clockwork God. You will kneel before me. Kneel!
I haven't the time to discuss this, Varuni. Wittingly or unwittingly, Lord Set no longer serves the people of Clockwork City. Now, if you will excuse me.
Gascoigne, where are you going? When news of this gets out, we need to issue a statement or at least gather the Congress for an emergency session.
I have urgent matters to attend to. Make whatever statement you like. I will return soon.
What is Gascoigne thinking? Honestly.
Well, that was enlightening. To think I've been speaking to Sotha Sil's shadow all this time. It seems so lifelike. Far more advanced than my own, I'm sorry to say. Fascinating. It really is too bad we'll all be dead soon. Well, I don't mean to alarm you, but I will be frank. If an impostor sits upon the throne aligned and learns how to wield the power of this place, a cataclysm will follow. We may yet discover a way to avert this disaster, but the chances are slim. Stay with Varuni. With Sotha Sil exposed as an impostor, the Congress will fall into turmoil. In such chaos, dark truths always float to the surface. Pray they do so quickly. I have other inquiries to make. Stay vigilant. We will meet again soon.
My dear Lord Set, what happened to you? I can scarcely believe what we just witnessed. How could this happen? How could a shadow masquerade as Lord Set? The Father of Mysteries would never let such a thing happen. There must be another explanation. Fear, of course. Always the iconoclast. I'll bet he's snickering at us even now. It doesn't matter. I appreciate your diligence. This has been a profoundly upsetting ordeal, but we must move forward. We must find the real Lord Set. Yes, he was acting strangely, wasn't he? He always chafed under Lord Set's rule. Now he finally has a pretext to seize control, and he slinks away like a broken basilisk. Curious. Too curious. The real Lord Set will aid us eventually, I know it. In the meantime, we must do for ourselves. Thank you for everything you've done. It appears we'll have to do a lot more before this is through. Classic Gascoigne. Fleeing to his chambers when things go poorly. I'm sure that news of Lord Set's condition has already made it to the streets. We have to move quickly to prevent a panic. Try to talk to Gascoigne. He clearly doesn't care what I have to say, but he might listen to an exodromal. You remain, a novelty. No offense. We can't assemble the Congress without the Chancellor. Check his rectory in the west wing of the Basilica. He hides in there sometimes to nurse a bruised ego or write passive-aggressive memoranda. I'll try to settle the Apostle's nerves. Honestly, my nerves could use some settling. Don't let Gascoigne wriggle out of this. He has a duty and an obligation, as do I. What? Yes, I'll be fine. This makes no sense. I don't understand how a shadow could take Lord Set's place. Maybe this is some sort of test. But why test us? The Clockwork Apostles haven't strayed. We build and pray and experiment just as the holy texts dictate. Compromised? You make it sound as if Lord Set suffers some kind of defect, like a crimped duct or a stripped bolt or something. We're talking about a divine being. Gods can't be compromised. They exist without flaws. Right? Do you know what the sermons say? Complexity belies the truth. The world rests on simple principles. Set is the truth and the light. Understand the simple, and you understand the obscure. I do appreciate your candor. Let's pick this up again later. The factotums reported a strange energy signature in Gascoigne's rectory. Did you find anything odd in there? Sounds like a nocturnal shrike. By the gears, how did that thing make it past our security coils? Is Gascoigne... not suspicious at all, is it? A sudden departure followed by a Daedra attack. You're right. I knew Gascoigne was a conceited sluggard, but consorting with Daedra? I pray it's not true. We need to discover what he has at the Daedra covert. Proctor Luciana might be able to organize a search. She just left to disperse a crowd. I hope you catch Gascoigne soon. We need to know what he knows immediately. Birds? Not that I'm aware of. He might be tinkering with some kind of avian automaton, but he rarely discusses that sort of thing with me. Why do you ask? Wait, feathers? From a live bird? Unprecedented. As far as I know, no living bird has ever set foot or wing in Clockwork City. And even if they did, they wouldn't last long. Not a lot of worms crawling around here. They do eat worms, right? Fascinating. I've always wanted to see one, under better circumstances, of course. I'll notify our naturalists once we resolve this situation with Gascoigne. I'm afraid not. Gascoigne keeps his own counsel about what he does outside the Basilica. He spent a few days out in the Radius last month, but that's hardly unusual. Apostles conduct research outside the fortress all the time. Mathematics mostly, predictive theory, spherical values, virtuous enumeration, that sort of thing. He just published a dissertation on transdimensional calculation, making inferences on how numbers change during planar travel. Impressive work. The specificity of his calculations just boggles the mind. It's almost as if he had access to a planar rift. Oh no. I don't want to even consider it. Not until we have proof. Birds? Not that I'm aware of. He might be tinkering with some kind of avian automaton, but he rarely discusses that sort of thing with me. Why do you ask? Wait, feathers? I knew this wouldn't end well.
I'm not here to speculate on Lord Set's whereabouts. I'm here to clear the square.
You don't know, do you? I knew it! This is a disaster!
If you want to panic, do so in your own homes, not in the public square. Now disperse, or be dispersed. Get them moving.
You heard the Proctor. Return to your homes.
If you're looking for Lord Set, I don't know where he is. I will find out, though. Count on it. Gascoigne, what has he done now? I can't keep up with the complaints. Good. Maybe a fabricant ate him. Our luck has to change at some point. So, he finally graduated from corrupt hobbyist to professional villain. I'm almost relieved. Now we can finally give him what he deserves. I assume you informed your sponsor, Provost Varuni? A citywide search? I can't spare enough apostles to search a broom closet. Reports are flooding in from the Radius. Stories about fanatics in black robes, pale-skinned Daedra, living shadows. We may have a full-scale invasion on our hands. I have one asset I can spare. I know an artificer, Dalamar. He takes some getting used to, but you won't find a better tinkerer. He can help you find Gascoigne, guaranteed. Go talk to him. He set up shop near the tenements. Slagtown. I knew that slag-addled piece of garbage Gascoigne would turn on us eventually. We should have dealt with this decades ago. I think we should destroy it, if only to convince the people it can be destroyed. I'm already getting reports from citizens convinced that their neighbor or their friend is actually a shadow. Another few weeks of this, it will not end well. I'm prepared to live with that. I made a vow to protect the Clockwork City and its inhabitants. If sacrifices have to be made, we should all be prepared to make them, Lord Set included. You can ask. I have a crank in between my shoulder blades. One of my auxiliaries winds me up every morning before breakfast. That's a joke. In the same way as every other clockwork automata. A combination of engineering and sorcery that would take a century to explain. The machinery keeps me alive. I know it's unsettling to look at, but no one ever said life in Clockwork City was fair. The same as you, I wager. A combination of heroism and coincidence. I served Riemann Cyrodiil as a battle mage during the Akaviri troubles and the Valenwood annexation. Yes, I'm still not exactly sure what happened. During the Valenwood campaign, I locked staves with a wood elf spell leader named Keladith. He was deceptively powerful, wiry, quick as a skeever trap. I remember cleaving his staff with a summoned blade. Possibly. I think he was in the midst of a translocation spell when my sword made impact. There was an explosion and a bright light. When I woke, I was splayed out in the radius. Mangled. Yes, his factotum scooped up what was left of me and brought me here. He mended my wounds and replaced what couldn't be mended with metal. I asked him why. Because one day you will shine a light, he said. And that was that. Always. Take my advice. If we manage to find the real Set, don't expect him to embrace you as a friend. We're all cogs in his eyes. Valuable. Beautiful, even. But ultimately expendable. You either grow to accept that, or you turn out like Gascon. Yes, bitter, sullen, probably traitorous, and if I get my way, dead.
Did Thalik really try to open a portal to Oblivion?
I've called a few people together so I can tell them what we've done. Hopefully, word will then spread throughout Slagtown and all of the Brass Fortress. I couldn't have done this without your help, my friend. I have to. For their sake and for the memory of my mother. I need to show them that their fate is in their own hands. I received the same dire prophecy, but I found the treasure and changed my destiny. So can they, if they're willing to listen. Heart. That's not something you hear a lot about in a place that runs on gears and cogs. Here, this is your share of the treasure. You earned it. The people of Slagtown have a new future to forge, thanks to you. People of Slagtown, I bring you a revelation. The prognosticator lies, but we can change our fortunes. We have free will.
Comet, the apostles say there's no such thing as free will.
What you're implying is heresy, Comet.
Is it hearsay to speak the truth? I performed the pilgrimage. I received the usual grim fortune that predicted I'd be poor until I died. But that future is a false future. I refused to accept that fate, and I changed it. And if I can do it, so can you.
Oh, really? You look just as destitute as you did yesterday, Comet. Maybe even more so.
I found the lost treasure of the Radius. I made a deal to sell some of the spices, and this is the contract. I'm rich!
So we can change our fate? The future isn't a set sequence?
We have to tell everyone. Comet changed the future. The prognosticator was wrong.
Oh, hey, friend. Was hoping to see you again. Was just popping up for some fresh-ish air, and what do I find but the tangy smell of fresh meat? Looks like you've had some luck at the butcher's. Perfect. I can take that off your hands now. Gonna need to give it a good soak in that marinade before I can get dinner started. Come by later and I'll have something to thank you for all this good effort. All right, friends. The guest of honor has arrived. I've cooked up something special for you all. Soon to be favorites, I'm sure. For you, Kara, a mushroom-filtered meat stew. No more of that overwhelming metallic tang, I promise. And for you, Maurice, root liqueur marinated fabric chop neatly braised, soon to put Slagtown on the culinary map. And finally, Tubaby, the crown jewel of my feast. Hand-fed Nick's fillets in a mushroom and root liqueur reduction.
You shouldn't have.
And for my newest friend, I have a special treat. I never would have been able to concoct any of these wonderful dishes without you. And you've clearly got an appreciation for food. So, I've conjured up a unique recipe to help you through your time in Clockwork City. I hope you enjoy it. Nothing too difficult, I promise. Most of the ingredients should be readily available in Clockwork City, so you shouldn't have to jump through any more hoops for a decent meal.
All right. Here goes.
Might need a little nip of that liquor after this. Delicious.
Hey, Bren, this is good. Yeah, you did it.
Oh, my. There is a hint of home in this. Thank you. This one did not expect to taste such fine things again in her life. Tubaby will miss the moons a little less tonight. She is grateful to Bringolin and to you.
Real food. Or near as I can tell, I don't care. Didn't think I'd ever come back for seconds down here. Bren ever needs more of your help, count me in.
I'm so proud. I nearly wrenched just thinking about the last two, but I held it together. Oh, and I'm glad I did. Brengelin really worked a miracle this time. We might just be able to kick the paste after all.
Combatants needed for a perilous task. Please respond for more information.
I hope we didn't lose another one to the shadow. The Clockwork Apostles have...
The planisphere's right through this door. Are you all right? Please, rest if you need it.
I have maintained these stars for millennia. Do not concern yourself.
Yes, much easier to explain now. This is the demonic planisphere where all this knowledge! Sotha Seal's memories are our most... thank you for understanding what this means to my order. With this! Now, this device has a very fancy, proper name, but I simply call it the Star Scooper. Let's say there's a memory that Lord Set wishes to store. First he turns the memory... Exactly so! It then travels to the planisphere... Well, that would certainly complicate things. Astronomer is the title given to the caretaker of the planisphere. Astronomer, star... Why, I'm his apprentice! Sorry, should have led with that. He only... all a matter of perspective here. Their memories given form. Makes sense, doesn't it? Memories are distracting little things, and Lord Set has more of them than most of us combined. I don't believe they're after memories precisely, but rather information. The You've returned! Quickly now, give the Star Scooper to the astronomer.